Welcome to my channel, it's Egwin here from Beyond Systems. Today we are talking about breathing and more specifically how you can use a certain way of breathing to increase your awareness of specific body parts that you want to target. Now, what could that be used for? Increased body awareness helps you to stabilize more, to balance more, and to have more motor control over certain areas. So basically, it connects you consciously with your physical body more and gives you more options, more adaptability, and also more control over what you're doing. The last couple of weeks, I posted some videos regarding especially the lower legs and the feet. We're talking about the muscles, how to get in touch with them, how to increase awareness and perception in those areas, to improve balance and just overall connection with this foundation of ours and how this foundation is important for our life. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a standalone video, this breathing video right now, but it is also possible to add it to all the exercises that we did in those last videos. If you're interested in that, I'm going to put the link to those videos down in the description below. If you want to stay up to date with more information regarding mechanics, body movement, perception, mind, consciousness, how they all interlink with each other and what you can do to improve your overall health and well-being by using simple tools, then please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date with further updates. And now, without any further ado, let's just jump into this breathing aspect and why it can be so crucial for our body awareness. Like I keep saying, breathing is a very central aspect of our life, obviously. And it's a very central rhythmic aspect of our life. We have our pulse and we have our breath. Although it's possible to train yourself to control your pulse rate consciously, although it is considered an autonomous system, it is still possible. In terms of breathing, we have it much easier to control our breathing rhythm. We can consciously decide to breathe rather quickly or breathe rather calm, deep, and slow. We can even go as far as holding our breath. So what's the deal with that? Every single time we breathe in, an expansion in the body happens. Every single time we breathe out, sort of a contraction happens in certain areas. We do need muscles for that. So our chest muscles, our belly muscles, abdominal muscles, our diaphragm, the intercostal muscles, they all work together to do this perfect inhalation and exhalation breathing pattern. Now that's a pulsation, and what's commonly known is that we need to breathe in and out in order to oxygenate our blood and also to balance our CO2 level, aka also our acidity level in the body. So those are central aspects of why it's important to breathe properly. What's relatively unknown is that you can also use breathing in such a way that it actually helps to relax muscles. Now, bear with me for a second, because there are two different things. One is to breathe in such a way that you de-stress, that you calm your emotions, you balance your hormonal system, you reduce acidity in the body, you get rid of anxiety, of worry, of anger, and stuff like that. Breathing can help with all of those things. Actually, it is one of the central mechanisms to help with those emotional balances. And those in return will reduce muscular tension, of course. But there is another aspect to it. And that specific other aspect is what I want to focus your attention on today specifically. That aspect is every single time we inhale, certain muscle groups in the body contract in order to make this inhalation, this inflow of air possible. Now, every single time we exhale, other muscle groups that are antagonistic to those, they contract and air flows out or is being pushed out when we do a deep breath. The funny thing is, it's the same principle with every single muscle. Every single muscle has exactly two main states of being. One is an activated, contracted one. The other one is a relaxed, more open, more fluid one. So the pulsation that is breathing can actually be transmitted in the body. It can link to other physical areas than the breathing muscles as well. And that's what we discuss today. The exercise that I'll propose is quite simple, and you can do it in whatever body position you want. Although at the beginning, I suggest you do it in a lying down position. You can later on do it in sitting, in standing, even while walking. There is literally almost no limit to it. Why do I suggest to start in lying down? Because in lying down, most of the muscles in your body are relaxed, and you want that basic relaxed state to start with in order to perceive your physical sensations better. Remember, I keep saying a tensed muscle is a muscle that you have a hard time perceiving as well. So this is why we start in a lying down position. The thing is simple. Just lie down flat on your back, and there are two possible ways to start. One is keep your legs straight, also flat on the mattress. The second version is, if that's uncomfortable for your lower back, just pull your knees in a slight little bit and pull your knees up so that your lumbar spine is more relaxed. Especially when you lie on your back with your knees slightly elevated, your body will, after a couple of minutes at the latest, automatically switch to a normal abdominal breathing pattern, meaning your belly will expand, then your chest will expand for the inhalation, the chest will sink back down, and the belly will sink back down for the exhalation. So the very first thing that's important here is, if due to stress throughout the day, you fell into a high chest breathing, which is a tensed breathing pattern, not using your abdominal muscles and your diaphragm that much, then this is a way to de-stress and to calm down and to actually engage the more efficient, bigger breathing muscles, which is my abdominal wall in conjunction with the diaphragm, which is biomechanically as well as emotionally and energetically much more efficient and beneficial for our whole being. Once you lie down in this position on your back, now really pay attention to the expansion and the contraction of your whole chest and of your muscles. Pay attention to the physical sensation in your body. How does it feel when air flows in and out? There is no need for judgment whatsoever. It's a pure observation. Just simply be there, and that's probably the most difficult thing of it all. Just be there and observe the sensations generated in your body by breathing in and by breathing out. Really, at the beginning, focus mainly on your abdominal area and your chest. And also pay, in the second stage, a little bit attention to other body areas like the arms, shoulders, maybe even the neck and head, or your glutes, your hip, your legs, and how they will slightly adapt and move with the expansion and contraction of your core of the body. Just feel the sensation, how the arms are slightly being pushed to the side on the mattress when you inhale, and then come back in when you exhale, and so on and so on. So really pay attention to the physical sensation generated by the breathing rhythm in your body. The next thing, I want to explain something real quick. We're going to try and breathe in a certain body area. Now, what's important to understand is the following. When I talk about just breathe into, say, your forearm or your leg, by that I never mean get air that you would normally get into your lungs into your forearm or into your belly or into your legs. Even if we talk about belly breathing, abdominal breathing, we never talk about air actually getting in the belly. Air will always only flow into the lungs. But what we can do with an idea or an intent of breathe into a certain area is we can physically link, mechanically link that area with the breathing pattern, with the pulsation of the breathing. That's the primary thing that's happening. The secondary thing I'll talk about a little later. So just lie there on your back, pay attention to the expansion and the contraction. And now try to pay attention down into your hip area, your whole pelvic floor area, genital region, glutes, hip joints, and thighs, your whole legs. Start from the belly, gently going down, expanding your awareness gradually further down, and take your time with this. So you breathe in, feel the expansion in your body, and breathe out. And now see if you can, when your awareness sort of wanders down a little bit further, if you can also experience, physically experience, not just imagine it, no, physically experience this expansion and the contraction in your hip. Like I said, also what effects expansion and contraction actually has on the legs, on the muscles in the legs, and so on. And with a little exercise, you'll see that it's possible to actually breathe in your knees, to breathe in, quote unquote, your lower legs, your feet, so that the muscles slightly join this contracting and release pattern of your breath. This is what I mean by breathe into a certain area. Now, there are a couple of main benefits to that. First of all, you train your perception, your physical perception of the sensomotoric feedback that is the physical sensation of your body. That's one thing. Secondly, you learn to control your body. You learn to control and command that a certain pulsational pattern, in this case our breathing, actually takes charge of the basic pulsation in other body areas as well. By doing so, you help them to relax. You help those areas to break out of their habitual tension pattern or their habitual complete relaxation pattern and get back into the game in a more rhythmic and consciously controlled way. That's another thing. The next very important thing, whenever we breathe into a certain area, while there is no actual air, no gas actually flowing into that area, what does happen is that areas that you pay more attention to and try to connect with the breath are actually more oxygenated. So this does not happen through actually gas traveling there. It happens through more oxygenated blood flowing in those areas and the cells actually processing the oxygen and the CO2 better. So while breathing into a certain area, you can actually help heal this area. You can actually help facilitate more energy flow, physical energy flow into this area through your conscious awareness and linking it. And the next thing, obviously, just simply by connecting with a certain area more and getting aware of it, you learn about the boundaries of your body. You learn, oh, okay, so this is how it feels when the muscle expands underneath my skin. You definitely also feel where the soft areas, aka muscle, soft tissue, connective tissue, and so on, in your body are, and where there is bone. So you learn to differentiate those sensations a little better, which can help you a lot. Like I say, whenever you have more perception of something that's going on in your body, you also have more control over it. So back to our exercise, you lie on your back, you inhale and exhale calmly through your nose, inhale, and through your nose, exhale. You expand and contract, and you slowly focus your awareness down into your hip, your legs, knees, lower legs, feet. Take your time. With every expansion state of your awareness, you give yourself at least 1 or 2 breaths to make sure you feel this area. If you want 3, 4, 5 breaths to actually perceive those areas better, that's absolutely fine. Go for it. Do it. And then slowly expand and contract and actually feel this pulsation happening also in your legs, not just in your core area where the breathing is the central governing rhythm that you control. Now, the reason why I said start in lying down is, like I said, there is less muscular tension in the body. In standing, there is quite some muscular tension in the legs for most people, unless you learn Qigong standing or something like that. And so it's more difficult to actually feel this expansion and the contraction in muscles that naturally have already a higher baseline tension going on at the very specific moment you're doing this exercise. So this is why I suggest train your perception of this expansion and contraction and this almost muscle entrainment, muscle pulsation entrainment. Train this in a lying down situation first, then go to a comfortable sitting position, make experiences with that posture, then go to how does this feel when I do it in a standing pose, and then you can eventually take it into walking or even running and so on and so on. And this is not just limited to the lower body. You could do the same with your arms. You could do the same with your shoulder muscles and so on and so on. I just brought mainly this example of the lower legs, of expanding your awareness down there, because it's what we talked about the last couple of weeks. Now, whenever you do this, one question could be, is it also possible to jump? So say, I have my core, I have this expansion and contraction going on in my core, and then I jump with my awareness over only to my forearm, and I say, I also now want my forearm to get into this expansion and contraction pattern. The answer is yes, it's absolutely possible to link this pulsation directly with another body area. Now, obviously, what you realize is we didn't talk about the upper arm, so we sort of left one area out that physically connects the body out. It is still possible. It is possible because our brain is holographic and because our brain and the neurological impulses can target certain areas in the body directly. However, at the beginning, again, it's easier to just simply expand and feel that expansion of awareness gradually from the core out towards my periphery without leaving any part out. But eventually, a lot is possible with this method. All right, so to sum this all up, breathing is one of the central rhythmic patterns in your body that you can partially control and can actually learn to control quite a lot. In this specific case, it can help you to increase your awareness of the body, to build sensomotoric feedback accuracy. Thus, it can help you to actually improve the amount of control you have over yourself, over your body, and how to act, how to balance, how to move And the more you do that, more mobility, more flexibility, more strength, all of that will come much more natural to you. It will also help you to calm down, and it will also help you actually to understand your body better in many different ways. But I leave this one open for you to explore a little bit on your own. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box down below. Other than that, I wish you a wonderful time. See you next week. And I also link the videos about the lower legs down in the description below, so you can link if you have not seen them yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a beautiful time and all the best. See you.